So we had the Tesla automatic garage door opener installed in our Model 3 Performance. Let's talk about how it works and give it a review. So as soon as we got the new car, one of the first things that I realized was a bit of a pain was we had our normal clip garage door opener, which we've generally always used in our vehicles, clipped up on our visors. However, these Tesla visors are a couple of things about them actually. They're really thin, and the clip wasn't even really big enough to hold on there. It would keep falling down. And there's just not a lot of room in the header up here to have that big chunky garage door opener kind of stay affixed, particularly with the way everything is contoured and so on. So instead, we were leaving it down in the consoles, and with these big deep consoles, that was kind of a pain to reach down there and get in. Well, we've since added the little tray buckets and so on, and that's great. But for a couple $100, $325 to be specific, I was inclined to just go ahead and get the automatic garage door opener. So much of this car is driven electronically. It's driven by software. It's controlled by the screen. Why maintain this clunky clicker garage door piece when that element of control, right, could be integrated into the car for another few $100? Now, a lot of cars come with, especially upper trims, come with HomeLink connections and garage door opener connections included. When you're spending $60 grand already, why do you not have the $325 door opener just at least in the long range or the performance trim? Tesla, that's pretty cheesy. I would say, okay, yeah, maybe keep that off with a base level trim, but I mean, come on, put it on the other cars. So same thing with some of the other stuff, like the inserts for the consoles and so on. Just put the stuff in the car. Don't charge for it separately. But in any case, they got me $325. It's easy. I wanted it, and so we had it installed. We ordered the module. So the way it works, basically, you order the module from Tesla. They'll mail it to you. Very specifically on the packaging and part of the order, it basically says do not open it. Nicely, it's a mobile service appointment. So after you order it, you can make your mobile service appointment. We were able to get ours a couple weeks out. We've actually had this thing for a little while. We got it fairly quickly after getting the car. I just haven't made the video to review it yet. But in any case, it took a couple weeks to get the mobile service appointment. The guys came, you give them the module. 15 minutes later, you're basically good to go, ready to program your garage door openers and use the capability. So pretty nice. I didn't actually watch the guy install it, so I can't say specifically what he did. I believe it was in the front area, opening up some panels or getting some access in there and installing the module. He came during the day. I was in some work meetings and so on. So I gave him the package. He opened it up and did his stuff. And again, 15 minutes later, he was knocking on the door saying, I'm all set. And so nicely, they didn't just install the module and take off. He stuck around and made sure that we were able to program our garage door remote, that everything was working properly the way it was supposed to. Nice thoroughness. So far, the couple of times that we've used it, I have nothing but positive things to say about the Tesla mobile service experience. The people come, they've been very nice, good folks. They've done a good job, and again, another positive Tesla mobile service experience. So, in order to program the garage door, actually, it kind of took two people anyway. I was in the car manipulating some of the controls on the screen here, while he was actually up front pushing buttons on the remote. So for whatever reason, that's the way it says to do it, and so you kind of need two people to fully program it regardless. Going through the menus, putting it in the learning mode, the guy hit the button a couple times. We did door 1, we did door 2, and it was good to go. Just to give an idea of our setup here, we have two garage doors. They're independent, separate openers, separate control for each door. If we take a look at the actual screen here, we can see both doors have been programmed. We have the left door and we have the right door. So you get to the HomeLink settings off of this button. Once you have the HomeLink module installed, you'll see the home, the little house with the arrow in it shows up green. And then you can go into the settings, the separate settings menu there. So again, these have already been programmed. I didn't record when the guy came, so I don't have that. But there's a couple things that you can control in here. Right off the bat, chime for auto open and auto close. Talk about the auto control in a minute. We actually have one of the doors to the house on the auto settings and one not. So let's look at the right door first. So you can see a couple of the options that you have here. First of all, you can name it. I call them left door and right door. You have options to auto fold the mirrors, auto open when arriving, and then a distance, and auto close when leaving, and so on. You cannot auto close if you do not auto open. So those settings kind of go together. So let's take a look at the left door, which is the one. So we park our Tesla on the left side of the garage, and so the left door is the one that's set to auto control. So I don't have the auto fold mirrors turned on. I actually already have that. That's in separate settings. It's a little redundant. I don't know why. I guess I don't know why they even potentially have that here, because they also have the ability to do it specifically by location in the settings. And because we set that up before we got the garage door module, there wasn't really a need to use this setting here. But this is the cool part, right? Auto open when arriving in a distance setting, and then auto close when leaving. So what that means, and then actually that reset location. So what they tell you to do basically is park in front of your garage door, a reasonable distance like we are here, and then you set your location, and that kind of represents a like geographical 0 point for the location itself, for the car measuring the distance and determining when it's going to engage auto open and when it's going to engage auto close. This also assumes a couple of other things, specifically that you pull into your garage. So if you back into your garage, the whole thing doesn't really work the same way. You have to drive in and reverse out, because the software and the control is expecting that when you're leaving to auto close, you're coming away in reverse, and when you're arriving to auto open, you're coming in drive. So maybe there's an opportunity for future improvement to the software. That's the way that I understand it, and I don't see a control to reverse that if you did have a garage door situation that you were consistently backing in versus pulling into. All in all, so far I would say this thing works really cool. It's so nice. It feels next generation. It feels very techy. It's the absolute reason that I wanted it. Instead of worrying about having this thing up here, or again, kind of fishing in the consoles when it's time to go or it's time to come home, you just drive and the vehicle takes care of itself. I haven't seen it fail when everything is in the right mode, in the right state. And we'll talk about that in a minute. So let's give it a little bit of a demo. Now, one of the things right off the bat with this is you get basically one closure when you're leaving, and you get one opening when you're arriving. Technically speaking, if you want to leave your house and go somewhere and everything is in a closed up state, you actually need two door operations every time, right? You need to open the door to be able to go, and then you want to close it as you're driving away. As you're arriving home, you would want that closed door to open up to pull in, and then once you're in, ideally, you would want that door to close behind you. But this doesn't do all of that in the software control. You only get a single actuation per type of driving event. So if right now I'm ready to back out, I'm ready to go somewhere, I have to make sure the door is open myself. The software will not do that. All right, so when we want to go somewhere, we have to have our garage door open to be able to pull out. The software won't do that for us. We get in the car, we put it in reverse, and automatically it pops up on the UI there, left door, auto close in 20 feet with the option to skip. So if I start backing out, my auto close in 20 feet hits my 0 point, now 10, now 5. And when I cross over the distance, there's the plink, and we can see the door is closing. I didn't have to touch anything. I didn't have to actuate anything. And as I drive away, my door is closed and I'm good to go. And the HomeLink door control just basically went away on the screen itself. It changed from a green color when it was preparing to actuate to a white. Now as I get home here, I'm on my street, I'm a couple doors away from my house. The car knows my location. It knows I'm coming up to my house, and there we go. HomeLink just popped up, Left door auto open in 40 feet, 30 feet, 20 feet, 10. There's the plink. And there's the door. You can see the auto drive icon is still green. If I pull into my garage and park, we're all set. Back in reverse, already auto close in 20 feet, 10 feet, 5 feet, and so on. There's the door. So pretty cool. And again, it's pretty infallible when everything is in the right state. Now here's the problem. What happens if you come home and your kids are playing in the driveway, or somebody's doing some yard work? It doesn't exactly work. It doesn't exactly work as flawlessly. Let's demonstrate that. Okay, so same shot here. I've driven away. In the meantime, I opened the door with my Control 4 system. HomeLink thinks I'm coming home. It thinks the door is closed. It's going to try to auto open the door right now. And I'm pulling up to a house with a closing door. So a couple things could happen here, right? If I'm fast enough, I could just drive through and the auto sensors, the protective sensors, would just open the door back up. I've actually done that just mindlessly a couple of times. Coming home, family's out in the yard or doing something, and I just pull in, and it's really no big deal. But if you come through slow enough or whatever, it could be better, I guess. Let's put it that way. So what it means is that the system knows nothing about state. All it knows is a toggle. It knows when you're driving away from this geolocation and this registered spot, close the door. It knows when you're coming towards this geolocation and the registered spot relative, again, to the distance setting, send the signal and toggle the door. They could make this so much better. Now, some of that relies on garage door opener technology just getting better. Instead of things being a toggle, I guess it would be nice, and I haven't bought a garage door opener in several years now since we built this house, so I don't know if the newer models are any different. But newer models, HomeLink and all of that stuff, instead of just having a toggle, could have a toggle and a discrete open and close. And if software systems like this start being able to support a discrete open and a discrete close, then you would be able to get more deterministic control. Okay, I'm leaving, open it so I can leave, close it when I'm gone. I'm coming home, open it when I get home, close it when I'm parked, and you wouldn't have the confusion potentially of the toggle points. The other thing that confuses me with this software is this car has arguably the most advanced vision system available, right? It's able to basically drive itself off of cameras that are looking at the environment and analyzing what they see and taking action based on what they see. This module and the software that goes with it literally tells you, park in front of your garage door and register your location. If the software did that, and I did that both with the door open and with the door closed, inside and outside using the front and the rear camera, you can't tell me that with all of the advanced vision technology that this car has, it would know, where am I, right? If I'm, where am I? If I'm coming up to the garage door and I'm supposed to be opening it because I'm coming home, but what the camera sees is that the door is already open, then don't send the signal. Or vice versa. If I'm trying to leave and the car can plainly see that my door is already closed, don't send a signal to close it that might inadvertently open it. In doing so, using the vision system and analyzing the pictures that it's able to take, you would probably be able to get the other level of control. Meaning I could leave my house in the morning or whenever it is with everything closed up, get in the car, and as I tap the brake to start the car up, it should be able to look behind me or even in front of me. Again, this would allow you to basically park in your garage in either orientation. But the car would be able to say, oh, the door is down. Put the door up because you've obviously gotten into the car, you've hit the brake, you've buckled your seatbelt, you're ready to go somewhere. And just the opposite. When you get home, making sure the door is open to be able to drive through. Once you pull into your spot and you park and unbuckle, then give me the option to send the signal to close the door again. So I can get that complete open and close double actuation behavior each time. That would be pretty cool. And I would certainly imagine that it's within the capabilities of the software. Again, because you have all these cameras, you can take pictures of the environment in the car or from the car in these various states, and the algorithms can compare what it's seen to what that known state is registered from those photos, registered from those pictures, and be able to compare them and determine, okay, this thing is open or this thing is closed. But the thing you'll find too, and I'll get into this in some elements in the future on the home automation side, because we have a whole house of Control 4 home automation, and the smartest automation systems, really no matter what, sometimes are still going to get it wrong because there's just too many variables. And these types of control systems, they don't know all the variables. They don't know that, yeah, I'm going to run to the store, but my wife is out here on the side of the garage gardening, and when you close the door behind me, you basically closed the door on her, right? It gives you the overrides and it gives you the abilities to skip, but you have to intervene. And so no matter what, there's always going to be situations in the best control system. If they added the picture taking capability and the vision comparisons and algorithms, sometimes you're still going to have to manually skip it. You're going to have to manually override it, but it makes that easy and it makes it simple, and you can do that. But so in a future software update, in a future capability update, I would really like to see this thing kind of go to the next level and use the system, use the vision cameras. But as it is, again, so final words, I guess, $325 to not have to try to stick that garage door opener somewhere on a contoured little mini visor where it doesn't fit, not have to reach into my deep consoles and try and fish it out of there. Well worth the money. Get it. It's cool. It feels next generation to be able to fully drive up to your car or drive up to your home, have that door open for you, drive away, have that door go down. And again, the other interim elements, you just work them out or you manage them yourself. And the best system in the world isn't going to know whether you still want that door open or not. It can only do what it's supposed to do. It's nice that they have some toggles in there and the ability to set the location and set the distances and do some management and calibration on it. I hope that there's a V2 of this thing coming on the same module, of course, but more software that really lets you do a whole lot more with it. So if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments. Let me know what you think. I'm glad I bought it. Check it out. And thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more content, and we'll be back covering the Tesla again in the future. Thanks.